Welcome back to the Wolfcast podcast, everybody. I'm the True Alpha here with my amazing sister May
Hi.
and my brother from another mother, Fang.
What's up?
Today's topic is Father's Day.
Yes, today is Father's Day. So, hello and happy Father's Day. Dads out there?
I don't know why the second we started the podcast up, your microphone just decided to shit itself.
What do you mean?
There's a static thumping noise behind your voice whenever you talk.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Okay, my stream said, nah, fuck you.
Nah, it ain't there. It ain't there now. No.
Weird. Okay. Hi, I'm here. I promise.
Oh no, I can hear you and I can understand you. It's just behind your voice is a staticky thwop 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 noise.
I don't know. Could have
It might
been.
just be on my end. I might just need to turn you down.
Maybe. Don't turn me down. I love you. Do you
Shut up!
really wanna hurt
In the
me?
words of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, shut up, bitch! I'm just kidding.
God. So mean to me, and all I do is give to you, and on this day of my daughter's wedding.
Excuse.
I'm making a mafia reference. Well, anyway, Father's Day. Father's Day is a holiday of honoring fatherhood and paternal bonds. Don't you sigh at me.
I'm not sighing at you.
Okay. As well as the influence of fathers in society. In Catholic countries of Europe, it's been celebrated on March 19th as St. Joseph's Day. Middle Ages. United States, Father's Day was founded by Sonora Smart Dodd. So you know how in our Mother's Day podcast, it was created by somebody that wanted for all the honoring and stuff like that. This one, it dates back to 1910 in Spokane, Washington. 7-year-old Sonora Dodd proposed it as a way to honor her father, who was a Civil War veteran that went by William Jackson, who raised her and her 5 siblings alone after her mom died in childhood. She was in church thinking about how grateful she was for her father when she had the idea that for Father's Day, here Mother's Day, but be celebrated in June, which was her dad's birth month. So
Interesting.
yeah, so because her father's birthday was in June, she's like, well, let's with Mother's Day being there, like let's do Father's Day in June. I always thought it was something more profound than that, and then I'm like, well, that
I always thought some motherfucker just decided we needed another holiday.
right?
Like I personally don't recognize these days. Like people can wish me happy Father's Day and I'll be like, thank you, whatnot. But Mother's Day and Father's Day are just another days
And I'm
for
completely
me.
opposite. I'm just like, thank you, Mother's Day, yay!
That being said, I do try and buy May things for Mother's Day whenever I can.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should be as big of a deal as people make it out to be. Like, yeah, fathers are good. They should be recognized as being good fathers.
These are the ones that stick around.
I
But
don't really like the fact that there's a Father's Day, Mother's Day, and Valentine's Day, because at the end of the day, Valentine's Day, you should celebrate your significant other, all the time, not just, oh, it's Valentine's Day, gotta go out and buy flowers, gotta go buy this, gotta take her out. Same with like mothers and fathers, they should be celebrated throughout the year, not just,
Right.
oh, it's Mother's Day, here we go, hi mom, you know how much I really love you.
Bought you this. Well,
Yeah, and
it's
same
like
with that.
most holidays are just they get commercialized over time.
pretty much all of them have been.
But
Let's bring back the old school ways of doing holidays, fucking just drinking and orgies.
drinking and orgies. I mean, that'd be hell of a Father's Day, wouldn't it?
Fucking hell! Happy Father's Day to me!
Woohoo.
The fucking Internet Explorer's gone.
Oh, is it?
R.I.P.
Yeah, they shut down Internet Explorer in favor of, what is it, Microsoft Edge or whatever the fuck it's called.
And it joined the 27th Club.
I don't know what that is.
People die at age 27.
Oh.
Oh,
Like Kurt Cobain and
go
there's
on.
a bunch of people.
Okay.
That girl that sings
Amy
They Try to
Winehouse?
Send Me Out. Yeah. What the fuck? Get out of my head, bitch.
It's the only female I can think of that died from drug overdose. I'm like, that would be Amy Winehouse. That I can think of. I know there's been lots of artists that died from drug overdoses, but that's just the main one that stuck out for me. So
Mm.
yeah. Um. So also around the world, Father's Day is celebrated on different dates. Uh, in Spain, Italy, and Portugal, Father's Day is celebrated on March 19th, which is the feast of Saint Joseph, like I was saying earlier. Germany, it's celebrated on the same day as Ascension Day. Across Scandinavia, the tradition of Father's Day was adopted in the 1930s. Originally, the American date was used, but in 1949, the Nordic countries decided to move it to the second Sunday in November. So their Father's Day is in November.
Hmm.
Taiwan, it's celebrated on August 8th, as the Chinese for the number 8 is pronounced ba, while a colloquial word for the father is baba. So the 8th day of the 8th month sounds familiar to daddy, baba. So this is another date that Father's Day in China. But
So there are really kinky people in China, uh, and then they're trying to be kinky. They just go up to their dom and say, "Hi, Baba."
hi, baba. Yeah, essentially. Baba. But but with Fang, with
Uh,
you being, a daddy and all, do you have any fun Father's Day or father story for us of, growing and learning how to be a dad and how to make sure that you don't, you know, kill your child?
due to circumstances, no.
Kirsten said no. Uh, do you want to talk about how you felt when you first became a father?
I don't remember. I I remember the day. I remember being in the hospital. I remember they didn't put the what do you want to call it, separator or whatever the fuck it is, up properly, so I got a nice view of human intestines. But and I remember holding him. Couldn't tell you how I felt.
Been too long.
It's been too long, and there were other things going on at the time. Like there's context behind my story.
That's gotcha. Well,
Like I love my son. I take care of my son. I make sure he's fed and housed, and he never wants for anything. But I can't tell you what happened 8 years ago. I can barely tell you what happened last Monday.
slept since then. I don't remember much. Um, well, I know growing up with me, my dad always would tell me that when I was born, like he was the guy that would run to the bar and be like, "My daughter's here, she's born." They're all like, "We know," because he'd be in there all the time because he was just so proud to be a dad, and like he would tell me all these stories, of stupid stuff I would do, and how much he really enjoyed being a
I've got a
father.
video up on my Facebook of Ryan being obsessed with a fan when we lived with Alpha.
I remember. I
He's
saw that.
crawling he's crawling across the floor, and he notices the ceiling fan, and he is just hypnotized by it.
It spins. Ooh.
Yeah, like he just stared up at it. He probably would have stayed like that for a while had I not been there.
Just enamored by just the circling fan.
Yeah.
What is this contraption? So, what are things that you can remember with your dad, Alpha?
I see him every day.
Yeah.
Well, true, but what are some things that you like really stick out that you remember that?
Fun fact, I hated going to my dad's house when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was a big mama's boy, and I would go over to his house every other weekend, and, like, there was times where I would, like, run away
Mm.
and, like, hide because I didn't wanna go over there. And I don't
Mm.
know why, like, it's not like he never beat me, he wasn't aggressive or anything, I guess maybe I was more attached to my mom or something, but
Mm.
there's that. And then, like, I don't know, like, I got really attached to him, and I've learned a lot from him especially the past, like, couple, like, 8 years.
Mm.
I learned, like, so much from, like, working, like, on cars and houses and shit and just little things, so
Yeah,
he's really shaped me out to be the man I am today.
it's always funny how much
Otherwise,
we
I'd
learn.
be a fucking pussy still.
Oh
Mhm.
gosh. So today also shares the holiday with Juneteenth. It is a federal holiday in the United States that commemorates June 19th, 1865, the day on which enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, finally received the news that they were free. This was 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, 1 year after the Senate passed the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery on April 18th, 1864, and 6 months after it was passed by the House on January 31st, 1865. So,
Huh.
yeah, Juneteenth. So, yay. Everybody was
Yay!
free.
Why does
It
it
took
say that it's Juneteenth is in the United States today, but public holiday is tomorrow.
It's weird.
Is it a 2-day
Because
event or
it's probably because it's Sunday,
Mhm.
and
because like
God forbid you do anything on Sunday.
I was told um to go to the bank Saturday for work and get, you know, uh a change order, and because they're going to be closed Monday. Well, come to find out they're not closed Monday.
Hmm.
So like when you said it was today, I was confused because if things are going to be closed tomorrow, then I figured it was going to be tomorrow and not today. So
It's not considered a bank holiday, and I say that because, bank holidays are, where the bank are closed. It's
so
just
the bank's racist.
I mean, among other things, but they don't like being open on Sundays. They close early on Saturday. It's like, come on. I'm usually half asleep by 11 a.m. I still don't want to have to rush to get to the bank before it closes. Eh. Wine.
Yeah, banks are weird.
Yeah.
Their hours.
Like, I understand it's a business, but it's like, why Sundays? Like,
Because church, it's literally
Technically,
because of religion.
mm,
I feel like everything. Well, I can't say everything, but I feel like 95% of things should just be closed on Saturday or Sunday.
Nothing should be closed. No service should be closed on Sunday.
yeah. I think everything should be open. Like, it's like the church is open on Sunday. Like,
Yeah, but the church doesn't make profit.
yeah, that's bullshit.
Even though they make fucking bank at churches. No, the
Mhm.
whole reason why things close on Sundays is because of it's supposed to be the day of rest.
Yeah, okay. So that's a, fast food restaurant.
I was gonna say.
And you don't ever want
And
Chick-fil-A
it's
on Sundays. You ever notice that?
no, I don't like Chick-fil-A's food.
Well, when I used to eat it, like I'd always want it and it was a Sunday. I'm like, man, but I don't eat it anymore out of respect for my best friend. So,
Regardless, so my issue with that, and this goes for the author of the Harry Potter books, who's a piece of shit. I don't care about the belief system of the company or the person who provides a service. If their service is good, I'm going to indulge in it.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A's fucking good.
yeah, but
I'll disagree with you on that one because I don't care for their chicken. KFC has better chicken.
I like their waffle
No.
fries. That's the only thing I really miss from them is their waffle fries. Their chicken wasn't that bad.
I'll admit I'm a big fan of KFC chicken. Hell, I consider gas station fried chicken better than fucking Chick-fil-A's chicken.
You must have just went on a wrong day, or they were getting ready to close or something. Chick-fil-A is fucking #1 chicken in the world.
Their waffle fries were dry. Their chicken was juicy and crispy. It just had no flavor. And that's all I remember from the one time I've been to Chick-fil-A. Yes, the people who run the company are a piece of shit for what their belief system is, but fuck it. If they provide a service and if you find that service to be good, then indulge in it.
Mm.
It's not like they're using the profits of the restaurant to actively go hunt out the people they don't like.
You don't know that.
It would be really hard for a multi-billion-dollar company to get away with something like that and nobody take notice.
Microsoft, Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff could happen.
We've all noticed everything, all the shit that they've done.
Not everything.
All the bad shit, or at least all the bad. Yeah, I agree with you there. There could be some things that are being hidden, but we understand that multi-billion-dollar people can be pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You know
We
what's
expect people who make money to be pieces of shit.
You know what's funny is you said multi-billion-dollar company, and it made me think. Back when I
I know where you're going with this.
back in my what's the word I'm looking for? Like fuckboy days, I guess.
Yeah, your real flirtatious days.
I used to tell people they'd be like, "Oh yeah, so what do you do for a living?" I would be like, "I work for a multi-billion-dollar company," and I wasn't lying.
You're not. You're not lying. You work for a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
But
You're a
would you
manager for a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Would you rather hear the words of the restaurant I work at as a female, or I work for a multi-billion-dollar company?
Yeah, but if you say I work for a multi-million-dollar company, they're gonna think that, you're rolling and shit, because you work for a multi-million
Well,
dollar company.
they shouldn't assume.
I mean, we learned about
And
assuming last episode, right?
I might be rolling in some shit.
Tough times, tough times.
Yeah, that was my little rant. There is like everything is ran off of a Christian system or an outdated Christian system,
Mm.
and that's why shit closes on Sundays and why sometimes even on Wednesdays or Mondays if they go to those weird churches.
Like,
I think everything should be shut down for like main holidays, though.
well, yeah,
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
no one should have to work on New Year's Day or Christmas or
Christmas Eve,
Thanksgiving.
yeah. No, I agree. Thanksgiving, like, I hate when
Even
they make people work on
even fuck
Thanksgiving.
it, Halloween.
Yeah, I would
Just
love
'cause
to
I
have
No,
love
but no,
Halloween.
no, no.
Halloween.
I'll work on Halloween. I don't want to work the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
The reason why is because when it's Halloween, by the time it's dark out and you're going out, you're trick or treating, I have to be in bed. I have to be up at 4 a.m.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
can't take my son out to go trick or treating for very long because I have to work in the morning. So I'll work Halloween day, not night,
I
and
agree
then
with that.
the next day I would want the next day off.
Yeah.
It's like
That's how I actually honestly feel. Like I don't mind working like, Thanksgiving Day. I'd rather have the next day off. And same with like Christmas.
right.
Like, well, I don't want to work on
No.
Christmas, but like the day after Christmas, I don't want to work.
Right. The same goes for like where I work on the 4th of July. If 4th of July falls on Friday, then we get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Mm.
If it falls on a Thursday, however, we have Thursday off and then have to go to work on Friday. So,
That's kind of stupid.
I don't even get to watch the fireworks. I didn't get to do anything. I stayed home, and then by the time all the festivities started, I was in bed.
Right. Hearing the
Like,
pop, 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 pop. Go to bed, you people.
Speaking
like
of the
it's stupid.
fireworks, I was wanting to know if you guys wanted to go to the Greenwood one.
Yeah, we can.
That'd be fun.
Just don't throw your snake on me again, you fuck.
We won't bring her this time. She's getting a little too big for that.
Yeah. That's
Because I think the Greenwood fireworks is the Saturday, July 2nd on Saturday,
oh nice.
or it'll be the first on a Friday, one of them.
I know it's normally like the end of June is when the majority of the time they've been doing it, but I think it's because of how the weekend falls and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it'll probably end up happening. I think I get Monday off. I think. I don't know.
I think the Franklin ones are Sunday.
So I asked Alpha this. So do you remember any fond memories with you and your dad, Fang?
You can't ask me questions. I'll just forget the second you ask me. That's how my brain works.
Well, no, it's just if you remember anything like you and your dad did, like fishing or
I
camping
don't because
things.
you asked me. You literally started the question and my mind went derp. You can't just do that. You have to bring it up as a subject. Somebody has to talk about it. My memories will trigger and then I'll go.
Here, well, then I'll say what I have to say, and you can think.
All right.
I will say that I haven't spent as much time with Fang's father.
Mm.
But like I consider him sort of a father figure because like he's been there for me several times. Like I've had serious talks with him. I've had we went to that stump in the bridge that one time, and then he's worked on my car a couple times, and I've learned a lot from him in that way too. The same with Scuba Steve and Smeagol's father. Like I was the punk kid. I wasn't even allowed or supposed to be able to hang out with them two. And then, one day he came home from work and I'm just sitting in the living room and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then, then now like he considers me one of his sons. So, I have like three father figures in my life. And, my main dad and then, Fang's dad and their dad.
Hmm.
So, it's awesome to have like extra support
Yeah.
even being 30 years old.
Right. For me, it was always the moms because I respect my dad so much. Like I'll talk to people and tell them how awesome my dad is, and that like I don't have an unkind thing to say about my dad because he's been working since he was a kid. He'd worked 3 jobs to support his baby daughter and his mother and his sister and his brother because they had their own issues, and he'd work. He wouldn't complain when he was hurting. And like I found out later in life that my dad was always hurting because he had issues with his teeth hurting him, and like he wouldn't show it. I never knew my dad was hurting. He just it did what dads do and just kind of kept that pain silent. So, but I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned from him, and he's such a gentle giant that it's whenever you see him get upset, which is very rarely, if ever, like he doesn't even yell. But like to see him when he's upset or sad, I'm just like, daddy.
It's crazy that you say that too, because like I never noticed it as a kid, but like I see it now. Like my dad was talking about how like one of his teeth were hurting like a month back,
Mm.
but he was always worried about, us kids. Even me now, he was pushing it, like that tooth getting fixed because he was worried about my anxiety and depression and stuff. And like I told him, I was like, I'm fine at the end of the day. Go get your shit fixed. And then he like flips it and he's like, well, no, you need to go get your tooth fixed. So I'm
Mhm.
like, Dad, it's not going to happen. I don't understand this. And this is going to be a random rant. I don't understand why, like, I can go into an abandoned hospital. I could go on a date, be anxious and whatnot, meet new people. The list goes on and on. I cannot set up a dentist appointment. I am absolutely fucking terrified to go to the dentist and get my teeth fixed. I have the money to do it. I could walk in there and, I don't want to say, be cocky about it, but like say it was a big bill, I could probably afford to pay it up front instead of having to do, split bills.
Must be nice.
I can't. I physically cannot do it. I want to, but I'm scared shitless.
Do I need to
You
call
don't
and
want
be
to
mommy
enough.
and make a disappointment for you?
You gonna
He
go in
won't
there and hold
go.
my hand
I mean,
too?
do you
Yeah.
want me to? Tell you're a big boy and we'll go get ice cream after you're done?
I'm
The
not
fuck you
going to
will.
get fucking ice cream. That's another fucking story. It'll fit because it's a father story. Went and got my wisdom teeth taken out one day. I only got the bottom two taken out this day. And my dad stops and gets Dairy Queen. And he's like, you want something? And I was like, no, I just want to go home and sleep. And he's like, all right. Yeah, he'll take a brownie, but whatever the fuck it was. And, I'm sitting there like, ice cream's going to feel good on this fucking mouth. It starts rolling down my fucking chin. Fucking the brownie pieces are getting stuck in the hole because I just got my fucking teeth pulled. And like, it was just a terrible time. I don't want ice cream after the dentist. I want my fucking pain meds and I want my fucking bed. And maybe a fucking bottle of milk because I'm a fucking baby back bitch.
Baby back bitch. It's just daddy. No, it's funny nowadays, it's like I'm one of those people that I am not a fan of deadbeat dads. Like I cannot stand them. Like I dislike men that just abandon their family. And I think for me the reason why is because my dad was such a prominent part of my life that I can't see anybody leaving their kids behind. So it's like whenever I hear people of their dads like, yeah, my dad left and blah blah blah, I'm like I can't relate in that situation, but it makes me mad for them that they had that taken away from them.
Yeah. I I was always scared to have a kid. Like if I ever got like a whiff of like, because I've had pregnancy scares in the past,
Mm.
and I was like immediately like I would give off the reaction that most women would not want to see. Like she'd be like, "Hey, I might be pregnant. We should take a test." And like immediately you could just see it in my face. Like not me personally, but like, the person looking back at me. And I was just like, fuck shit. I don't know, not ready, can't do this. And I know you're never going to be ready to have a kid.
Mhm.
But like this past year, like I'm ready. Like I fucking want one. I want to know. I want that. I'm getting older. I want that kid. I want to be able to go out and do stuff with that kid. I don't want to be 40 and him be like, "Dad, let's go throw the football." I'll be like, "I fucking can't."
Hey, I'm almost 40 and I can throw a football. Watch your mouth.
Mhm.
You jerk.
Different.
Do what?
So it's
It's
different.
different. Yeah, okay, sure. My dad's almost 60 and could probably throw a football further than you guys. Bring it.
That
I'm a pretty good quarterback.
My dad's
You
Fang.
might have been a pretty good quarterback.
Oh, shots
Let's
fired.
go. Let's go
All right.
outside and throw the football.
All right.
Alright.
I ain't fucking running for nothing, but
I used to be able to throw a football a good 40 yards right-handed and at least 20 left-handed.
I would have rather played baseball because I like throwing overhand than underhand, but
I wanted to play rugby.
I played rugby in high
Or
school.
not rugby, lacrosse. That's what I wanted to do.
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse. I played lacrosse. For sure, it's fun.
Until I got whacked with the fucking stick and I would have got ejected.
Only
Let's
hurts.
hear you little fucking shit.
It only hurts for a second, but for that second, you just sitting there cussing like, "God, son of a mother!" Ugh. Now I remember one time. I don't remember how old I was. I was 10, give or take. But I was outside playing with my dad. I don't know what we were doing. We were throwing a ball of some sort. But I remember he threw it hard enough that I went to catch it, but I missed and it smacked my finger and ended up like dislocating my finger. And I started sitting there freaking out. I'm like, oh, just freaking out. He's like, oh, uh-oh. And he just kind of came over and like,
There was one day there was some miscommunication between myself and Stretch
oh no.
when we were playing football, and I was like, all right, here's the play. I'm gonna run out, and as soon as you see my body turn, throw it at me. Just bullet it at me, and I'll grab it and I'll take off running. So he hikes the ball, and I take off running. Juke was on me, and I hadn't even turned my head yet, but he had read the juke as me turning my body, and so I find
as soon as you turn your body.
And so I turned my head, and there's just a football.
Football.
Smokes me right in the fucking face.
Oh no, that's a sting that just sits with you for a minute.
No, I had a bloody nose. I got back up and I had a bloody nose, and I was like, I meant when I was facing the ball. And he's like, you said when you turn your body. I was like, listen here, you fucking smart ass.
I know what I said. That's not what I said.
Another thing is like, I don't know if you guys ever had this. I'm sure you guys have, but like when you would be at a friend's house and they're all getting ready to eat for dinner and you're like leaving, they're like, "You're not gonna eat with us?" That is like another thing I always thought was cool because like Smeagol and Scoop Steve's dad, I would like hang out at their house and like they'd be getting ready to eat dinner. I'm like, all right, well I'm gonna head home, and he's like, no, you're gonna fucking eat.
No, you're gonna fucking eat.
And I'm like, look, if I eat now, I'm not gonna be able to eat later. And I'm gonna go home and my stepmom's gonna fucking throw a fit. And I'm gonna get my ass beat. He's like, you'll eat twice.
You'll eat twice.
You're the reason I'm fat.
How dare you refuse the food that I made for you with my own hands? Didn't your wife with my own hands? Goodness. Like there's so much stuff that's funny, like growing up with my dad, and he, like I said, my dad's almost 60 because he's 59. So, I sit here and I worry about him, with him getting up there in age. Like my dad is, he takes really good care of himself. Like he's he's not heavy set, he's toned, and he eats well, takes care of himself. But there's always that worry that something's gonna happen or he's gonna get hurt. And he's like, quit worrying about me. You don't have to worry about me. That's my job. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I know, but I still worry about you, Dad. You're my only dad. I worry about you.
That's how I am. Like my dad takes because my dad's got diabetes and he's on it. Like he's like stays up on it, and hey, I gotta take my shot now. I gotta eat now. This the. But then like he's overweight, and like you'll hear him complain about, oh, I'm sore because I had to go do this, and then he'll talk about, I really just need to like go down to the gym and ride the bike, a couple 10-15 minutes a day, but he won't do it. And like I try to push him, and then when you push him, he's like, I'm not fucking doing it, but then he'll bitch and complain about how he needs to lose the weight.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how to because we all want our parents to live forever. We don't want to go without our parents, and our parents don't want to go without us. But I, like, as greedy as this sounds, I would much rather die before my dad dies, because I'm going to lose my fucking shit.
Right.
And I know that's greedy, and like I've been told by like several people, like, oh no, you're an asshole, you're a bastard if you think that. Like, That's wrong. No parent should bury their child, which I agree, but like I can't. But know what I was gonna say. Like he's still like I hope I'm like this when I'm his age, you know. He's 28 years older than I am, so
Mm.
so like he's goofy. Like we were going up to Golden Corral yesterday and fucking he like grabbed my brother's sunglasses and put them on, then took my hat and he was just sitting there doing this dance, bumping rap music, and I'm just like I hope that I'm like this with my kids and my kids. Because, like, when I was younger, if my dad would have done that, I would have been like, oh, my fucking God, please stop. Now my dad does it, I fucking pick up the camera and start recording it.
Like, get it,
Like,
Dad.
that's my dad.
Well, I think we get to a point in our lives where our parents, like, yes, our parents could still embarrass us well into our adult areas of our life. But I think when it gets to a point that seeing them just be jovial and laughing and joking around kind of makes that embarrassment go around because you know it's the memory of them spending that time with you that sticks more than just, oh, my dad's being weird again, you know?
Yeah, he said something the other day while we were waiting for my brother to come out of the store. I won't say it on the podcast. It's dirty, but I was like, Jesus Christ, you can't say that shit. And he's like, what? I would do it.
I would do it. Can we talk about like how many times our first dirty joke is what we hear from our parents and our dads in general? Like I remember like a lot of the dirty jokes that I heard when I was a kid were from my dad. Like, and he wasn't doing it to be like nasty or dirty or anything because I was his daughter, but it was just, he's a mechanic for a good portion of his life. So he's heard a lot of good jokes. And, I'm my dad's only child. So I heard some jokes. I'm like, ha, 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 that's
Uh,
wrong, but it's funny. you know? Uh,
My dad's dirty minded as fuck. You thought I was bad or Fang's bad? My dad's fucking terrible.
right. My dad's got a sense of humor. Something that's really funny, like, and like I brought it up with my dad. I brought it up with my dad like years ago, but growing up with our parents, they know us all of their life, or not, yeah, they know us all of their life, but we only know them for a portion of their life. Like there are still a lot of things about my dad that I like. For the longest time, I still don't know what my dad's favorite color.
Mhm.
Like,
I just found out this past year or year or two what my dad was. I always knew what my mom's was.
yeah.
He was like, yeah, it's green. And I was like, why green? Like, I shouldn't have knocked him like that. But like, couldn't have picked like the typical blue like every man likes. Oh, I like green.
I agree. Yeah, I know it's like, and like I know what genre of music he likes because I grew up listening to it, but he's more country now. But it's like I knew what music he liked, but like there's just stuff about our parents that most of us just don't know, and
Yeah.
it's like I never thought that's why I never asked my dad about it. I think the reason why is because when I'm a kid, I just don't care because I thought it's dad. He's boring. He does boring stuff. But as an adult, it's like part of his childhood I heard, and some of it I didn't. It's like I wanted to know more about stuff that my dad did, but
And there was one day like we were just talking about like normal stuff like life, like things that were going on the past couple of weeks. And then like 2 hours later, we're like into this conversation of just like his childhood, not his childhood, but like his teen years to like mid 20s. And I would just like looked up at him and was like, Jesus, like that was you? You did that shit?
you did that shit,
Like what the fuck? I would have done that shit. You would have beat my ass.
right?
Mhm.
That's funny though. Like a lot of stuff our parents did as kids is something they would have like scolded us or gotten us in trouble for. It's
But
like
it was okay to do then. Now, if we like anyone tried to do that shit as kids, it'd be like frowned upon, like masturbating on an airplane. I won't say the next part, but
oh god,
Hangover, good movie.
Hangover, good movie. No, it's like my grandmother didn't know for years that her daughter would hitchhike everywhere. She's like, "Oh my god, I never knew that." Like, oh my god, it's like, yeah, but it's stuff like that it's neat to get to know from our parents, It's like they did stupid shit like we do now, and seeing them in that light makes them I guess in a way makes them more I don't want to say human, but let's, more fallible. Like we always thought they couldn't do any wrong because, they're parents, they know everything. And it's funny is most of the time parents don't know what the hell they're doing themselves.
No, they did like normal stupid shit, like broke into houses or I'm just throwing examples out there, but like shit that's still frowned upon, versus like us as kids, we went around fucking hitting each other in the balls.
Eating Tide
That was our
Pods.
stupid shit.
Right.
Yeah, and then like this generation eating Tide Pods.
Darwin, we need you more than ever now. But yeah, it's funny to think about, and I want to sit down one day and just have a conversation with my dad and be like, "Hey, Dad."
A lot of my like my parenting obviously came from like my dad, or you know, Fang's father, and what I've learned from Scuba Steve's father and all them. But like I've also learned a lot from Fang and Scuba Steve and Smeagol, you know, like seeing how they are with their kids. And so I mean, credit goes to you, Fang, for some things that I'm gonna learn,
Woohoo! I'm an influence.
says the streamer.
I'll be right back. Keep going.
But nah, it's just like it's crazy that like I can look down to like younger people and find inspiration and shit. You know, like.
Right.
But I mean I've been told, you know, probably since I was like 25, maybe even before that, you know, why aren't you a father? You would be a really good father. And I'm just like, I can't fucking find anybody to have a kid with. I don't know. I don't want to rush it, because like the girl I'm talking to now, like yes, we've been talking for a while, but it's like new because we've like only been hanging out for so long. But like if it happened, I'm ready. Like I'm ready to take on that chapter and adventure.
Oh, if you're ready, you're ready.
Well, you can't ever truly be ready, but
Yeah.
what's wrong? You seem different. Your
Yeah,
tone.
I just have nothing to. I have nothing to talk about.
You don't have any
Nope.
good old Papa stories.
None that I haven't already talked on the podcast. At least none that are coming to
Talk
the
about how
surface of my
your
brain.
dad makes a fucking mean biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you how he makes it.
Or the time he looked at us all, he's like, going to the strip club this weekend. You guys coming?
Yeah,
Well, like,
he was always wanting to take us to the strip club.
I'm like, I'm
Like,
17 and they're like 15. We can't go to the fucking strip club. What are you talking about?
which
I'll get you
after
there.
being to one, kind of, we weren't missing out on much.
I've never been to one.
So what I want you to do is I want you to go on to Google, go to Google Images and type in titties. It's about the same experience, but it's free. Either way, you're seeing boobs, but you can't touch them.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Yeah, like when I went, because I went with my ex and her friends. I was more interested in the college basketball game that was on the TV, and I don't even like watching college sports.
You know what's really weird is that like I feel the same way. Like I would rather watch NFL or like NBA, and everybody else is like, why do you like watching that more than you like college? You know, college, they're trying to work to get to that career. NFL and NBA and all that, you know, they've already made it. They don't have to try anymore. You know, you should be more excited for the people that are trying to make a living out of it versus the people that have already made it. I'm just like, it just doesn't pique my interest. I used to watch it all. I used to fucking sit there and watch, you know, Saturdays would be college, Sunday would be, you know, pros.
It's probably just because
Now it's
people like, the thrill of it, an actual team that's, well known, and they've watched them for years, and they don't want to start with something newer where it's like, oh, these kids in college, and if they start liking a kid but the kid never gets drafted or accepted, it's like, what's the point of watching it?
I used to
Uh,
hate fucking being over at my dad's house as a kid and him having NASCAR on.
Oh
I
my
thought
god.
NASCAR was the most boring fucking thing in the
It's still
world.
that's all that
boring.
was ever on at my grandma's house. To quote Jeff Dunham, they're taking a
Left
left
turn.
turn.
Yep.
They're taking another left turn.
I mean, I got somewhat of enjoyment out of it because like my dad would be watching it for his pure entertainment, and he would buy me all the NASCAR cars. So I had like a Matchbox car box with like every single NASCAR driver that was popular at that time.
Hmm.
I really wish I don't, I can't say I really wish I still had them, but I had like several Dale Earnhardt Juniors, and then or not Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Earnhardt, and then several Jeff Gordons.
I wonder why everyone gave Jeff Gordon so much shit for being a NASCAR driver. Like, I never understood.
My grandma loved Jeff Gordon. Like she still has Jeff Gordon
That was my dad's
everywhere.
favorite.
Yeah, but I know for some reason they gave him just like all the shit, and like I never understood why.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's more or less all like DC and Marvel stuff, like because like I watch all my shit like the day it comes out,
Mm.
and then my dad will watch it throughout the week, when it comes on, and he gets to it, and he'll be like, "So what'd you think about happening in the show?" And like then we have like this 20-minute conversation. I'm like, "This is cool. My 58-year-old dad's fucking ecstatic about the Flash," and then I'm sitting there thinking, "All this shit's been around since he was a kid,
Yeah,
so it
before
makes
you were
sense."
born.
Huh. Apparently, there very well might be a Top Gun Maverick Lego movie coming out.
Oh God.
I have not seen either one of them.
Did you hear they're probably gonna end up they might pull Top Gun out of movie theaters because the original Top Gun was based off a story and they credited the original guy that did it. The remake, they didn't credit the guy at all because it's still the same story that he had did, but they didn't credit
It's
him.
not a remake, it's a sequel.
Well, it's a bit of both, but it's still based off of, his story he wrote. So there's a big legal battle about it right now. I'm like, huh.
I'm sending you guys a video that I'm ripping off of Facebook. I'm sending it in our. I didn't want to put it on my fucking news feed. Discard. But I'm sending it to our Wolfcast and Messenger because this is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
And
Well, maybe.
another thing that I really like about my father is because like people back in like when he was younger, and like his dad, because he even had this talk with me when I first started painting my nails. He looked at me and he was like, "Why are you doing that?" And I was like, "I just think it's fucking cool. Like it's something I like." And he was like, "Your grandpa, he would have looked at you and made fun of you and been shitty with you, but if it makes you happy, it makes me happy."
Mhm.
And it's crazy to think that like times have changed like that, to have like a supportive father.
Yeah.
His father would have not believed in it, but he's believed in it.
Yeah, it's just learning and
And how
unlearning.
supportive he is of my brother who's gay.
Hmm. Yeah, it's learning that, your children, like, you have a mold that you think you want them to go into, but kids themselves are gonna have their own way out of that mold. They're not gonna follow the same path you did, or they're not gonna, believe in the same things that you believed in. It's, they're their own people growing and learning as they go. So it's awesome that some parents can learn to be like, okay, my child's my own child. They're their own person, and it's awesome to see parents let that happen. I always feel bad for the parents that basically indoctrinate and like force their kids to be, what they used to be or believe in what they used to believe in because that was the way it was essentially beaten to their heads, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Were you watching what I just sent?
No. I
Okay.
clicked on it and I was reading the like description or whatever, and then listening to her talk.
It's from a movie called A Few Good Men, but the
Great
edit
movie.
is fantastic. Did you order the code red? You're
Damn
goddamn
right
right,
I did.
I did.
There was a Legal Eagle
Fucking
episode
Jack
about that.
Nicholson is only in that movie for like 5 minutes, and it's probably the best 5 minutes of the whole goddamn movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Legal Eagle did a video on that with an actual Marine.
Military lawyer.
Yeah, military
He did
lawyer.
it. Yeah, the guy's a military lawyer.
That was awesome. It's like, yes.
Your face is awesome.
I know. I try.
I was
Kiss
talking to
ass.
Fang.
Kiss ass.
I was talking to Fang.
No, another funny memory, and I wasn't with my dad at the time, but it was my dad and my or no, I was with him at the time. It was me, my dad, and my grandma. And we had all gone out to eat. I don't remember. I think we just went out to eat because we were hungry. Well, we were driving back home, and my grandmother, bless her heart, she because she was I think in her 60s at this time, and we were driving home, and she just let out the most god awfulest of farts. Like, it was so bad, my dad had to pull the truck over. It was so bad. We're just sitting there gagging. She's like, "I'm sorry, I've been sick." But it was hilarious to watch my dad slam on the brakes and yeet himself out of the truck. He's like, "Jesus, mom."
Funny how doesn't matter how old you are, a fucking good fart will make you laugh.
Right. So any other last minute memories that you want to talk about before our podcast comes to an end here?
I can't think of nothing.
I mean, there's something like little, but like, I mean, my dad really, really stepped up after my mom passed away, which I mean, you know, it's good on him because like, you know, there is fathers out there that be like, you know, that don't step up and like you mentioned. And I remember my mom was hyping it up all year, you know, hey, I'm going to get you the new Xbox and Halo for your birthday. And then she passed a couple months before my birthday. And I normally only get like a base set of like certain amount of money from my father for my birthday.
Mm.
And he went out and he like got me the Xbox, the game, got me live, like really went all out that year, which was really awesome of him. And just the way he stepped up and then the way my stepmom stepped up
Yeah.
at that time. So that was another cool memory. Well, then they need to understand that we don't pause games now.
I can't pause. Video game mom.
I said it to my dad all the time. He'd be like, "Come out here real quick. I'm in the middle of the game. Pause it." I'm like, motherfucker, we've talked about this 5-10 times now.
Can't pause an online game,
Yeah,
Dad.
we don't pause games now anymore. That you guys used to be able to pause them. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
Best I can do is hide in a fucking bush and hope and pray.
Yes, pray no one finds me. Like today when I tabbed out, 'cause I was standing in the store and shit. I want to say again, thank you for all the dads that are out there that, you know, stuck by and changed the diapers and stood by the side of their kids when they were getting bullied and, you know, just showing us how to be better people and how to take care of ourselves and others and show us that being strong comes in more than one form. So I want to say thank you. Thank you, Fang, for being an awesome father to, you know, our son, because
Yeah.
you really are a great dad. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. At 100 subscribers, I will be doing Alpha's makeup. I can't wait to do it. We're already at 54 subscribers. Keep it on strong. 46 to go. Gonna make him look real purty. Visit us at our Patreon. There's polls, one-on-one meetings. You can be in a podcast with us, get behind the scenes content, art lessons from me, and there's so much more than you can see behind the scenes. No donation's too small, and anything that you donate for us is fantastic and helps the podcast out more than you know. Go ahead and check out our spring. We have all of our merch up there. Use WolfCast20 to get 20% off all your orders. Visit our affiliate Dubby. Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. The formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and neurotropics, including the patented Neurofactor. Dubby is produced in the USA in an FDA-registered and inspected facility that strictly adheres to the GMP guidelines. So use WolfCast10 to get 10% off all your orders. Follow us on all of our social medias. You've got Fang and Alpha over at Twitter and Twitch. You've got me everywhere else. Thank you again for tuning into the podcast. We really appreciate your love and support. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. That way you know whenever I post videos on Monday. So thank you so much again. Happy Father's Day, and we will see you in the next podcast. Bye!
Bye!
Deuces.